Welcome on into the Gatemen Postgame Show. My name's Henrique DaMour. To my right, JD Raucci. To my left, Cam Stuart, as always. So the Gatemen split the doubleheader. They go 5-2 on the start of the season. 7 games in 6 days. Everyone at Spillane Field is pretty worn out. A well-deserved off day tomorrow. Before we get into that, let's give the audience some things to digest. JD, highlights from Game 1.
Highlight from Game 1 was Austin Shenton. He was absolutely unbelievable, as he was all 2 games long, I should say. He's leading the league now in the Cape League in batting average. He's having an absolutely fantastic start to the season. Of course, the memorable moment from Game 1, the 3-run home run, walk it off for Austin Shenton. You know, we thought the Gatemen were dead at some point. They really weren't generating much offense really at all in the first game, and then Austin Shenton says, well, let me take care of that real quick. I know Andrew Vaughn was on a little bit of a cold streak, so he takes care of the offense, he takes care of the power. He had 9 home runs this season, 4 Florida Internationals, so there is some pop in his bat. And he got to go over the right field fence, walked it off for the Gatemen, an exciting end to game number 1.
I think it was a little concerning as well because you think that maybe it was a little bit of a hangover from the Harwich game. Scored 0 runs on 4 hits, but the offense came to work today. And Game 2 was a slightly different story. Again, 4 runs, but Game 2 was not quite as pleasant, was it, Cam?
Yeah, it was a pretty ugly way to finish off the doubleheader, but I think 5-2 at the end of our first 7 games in 6 days is a good thing for Wareham Gatemen fans, but it was pretty ugly at the plate. Notably, 11 strikeouts by the Gatemen in game number 2, caught by Andrew Vaughn alone. So they're going to have to work on it. I didn't really listen to my pregame spiel on putting the ball in play, and that's what's happened. They were in it for most of the game, though. They were battling back. It was 2-0 to 2-2, and 6-4 eventually after the Vaughn home run, but things just blew it open for Orleans. The first tough outing for the Wareham bullpen that we've seen so far this year.
And Jared Horn struggled a little bit today, but another positive to take away was Andrew Vaughn broke an 0 for 11 with a monster home run to left center field that clanged off the bleachers right behind us. We're going to take a quick break and throw it to Mary Orders, who has an interview with today's hero, Austin Shenton. When we come back, we'll wrap it up and send you home.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Gatemen third baseman Austin Shenton. Now, Austin, you had that walk-off home run to win the first game. Can you walk me through the at-bat?
Honestly, I was just looking for a fastball. He got to a 3-1 count. I was just looking for a fastball and being on time for it.
Great. And your knee or leg has been bugging you a little bit. Have you felt it affect your game at all?
I just strapped a little leg sleeve on it and just tried to battle through it today. I fouled the ball off it. I think it was against Falmouth. So, yeah, I just tried to battle through it, and I don't know.
Has it been feeling better?
Yeah, it's been feeling a little bit better today, especially better than yesterday.
Great. And lastly, you have the highest batting average in the league right now. What has been working for you so far?
Honestly, just trying to be on time for the pitcher's fastball and just not chasing outside of the zone. Just staying true to my approach and trying to see the ball early and be on time for it.
Thanks so much, Austin. Back to you guys.
I want to give a big thank you to Mary Orders and all the work she's done in these last 7 games, bringing us content from coaches, players, beat writers, just about everyone involved with the Gatemen organization. Before we get going, we want to give you some final thoughts on today's 2 games. I'll start with myself. I think it was encouraging to see Andrew Vaughn bust out of a slump. Austin Shenton and his resurgence, we knew was one of the better hitters in this lineup, but really the sophomore from Florida Internationals come on in a big way. The leg injury clearly not hampering him. Bullpen was a little shaky these last couple of games, actually really just in Game 2. But it's seen that the Wareham Gatemen, they're 5-2 for a very good reason. The strikeouts are a little high. Need to get some guys off the base paths a little speedier, but everything else, you can't really complain.
I think my takeaway from this game is going to be Austin Shenton. This kid might be the best hitter on the Cape right now. Obviously, we've talked at length about Andrew Vaughn, how important he's been. He's now got 3 home runs on the season and a ton of RBIs. But Austin Shenton alone today, between the 2 games, 6 RBIs, 3 on the 3-run homer in the first game, and then 3 on a double and a couple of other hits and a reaching on an error and all kinds of stuff. Austin Shenton is finding a way to get on base. That's what we asked for. That's what Cam kind of asked for in pregame, was put the ball in play, find a way to get on base, whether that be reaching on an error, reaching on a walk, reaching on a hit by pitch, reaching on a single. Austin Shenton has done it all season for the Gatemen. He is really the kind of gear that makes the offense grind here for the Gatemen. And the most impressive part is he's doing it out of the 8 hole in the lineup. He's doing it at the bottom of the lineup, and at some point I was like, why is Austin Shenton hitting so low? Then I realized kind of the very smart move from Don Sneddon. He knows that the 3, 4, 5, 6 guys in this lineup are so darn good. So then you need somebody at the bottom of the lineup that can still generate some offense, so you have a balanced order from top to bottom. Austin Shenton right now, the average leader in the entire Cape League. He's been absolutely incredible. That's my takeaway from this game. Austin Shenton continues to impress in his first season at the Cape.
Well, I think we've been talking about the 2-strike, 2-out hitting for the Gatemen offensively, and I think what really doomed them today was the 2-out hitting defensively. A bunch of 2-out runs, especially coming from that bullpen, which we haven't seen struggle really all year. It's the first time we've seen this from the Gatemen bullpen, and they just couldn't get out of innings today. As I mentioned earlier, the Gatemen were in the game. It was 6-4 in the 4th inning, so I mean they had a shot at this one, but there's more 2-outs, just deflating innings and shut down innings that they weren't able to shut down. And so I think that's why that deflates a team, demoralizes a team, and it's only lost number 2, so you can't get too down on it. But I think that's what really did them in today.
I think it was especially frustrating given that the Orleans offense coming into today was nothing short of anemic. They came into the game, the 2 games today, batting .193, good for dead last in the Cape League. But like you said, you flush it, you move on. Off day tomorrow before 2 games at Spillane Field on Tuesday and Wednesday. We welcome the Chatham A's back to town. We saw them in Game 1, a 12-4 win, obviously, on opening day against Chatham. And then Game 2 against Hyannis. First look at our West Division rivals. Guys, any quick thoughts? Looking forward to these 2 teams.
It's going to be a tough couple of games. Chatham always comes to play. But the real big game, I think, is that Hyannis game. You want to keep the pace in the Western Division. It's been a fantastic season thus far for the Gatemen. They're starting, I don't want to say running away with the West Division, but they're certainly off to a really hot start. They've had a fantastic start to the season. Let's see them keep it going on Wednesday against the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. Going to be a tough game for both teams. Still in an early part of the CCBL season. Both teams just trying to get some offense and some pitching going. But we should see Ken Waldachuk. He is the projected starter as of right now based on the rotation we've seen from head coach Don Sneddon so far. He'll pitch on Tuesday before, seeing Hyannis on Wednesday. So both games big. Both games you want to come away with a dub.
Yeah, and Chatham's an interesting story because from what I hear from the Chatham people, they're really excited about the team and especially about that offense, mainly Sean Torkelson, the NCAA's leading home run leader this year, leading home run man this year, finally hit his first in the Cape League last night. He's definitely a dangerous hitter. Top to bottom in that lineup, they're really excited about the offense they have. And it was a game in Chatham last weekend for 8 innings. It was a 5-4 ball game going into the 9th, so they really hung with Wareham pretty well against some good pitching. Joey Matulovic obviously got the start for Wareham in that game. So it's going to be tough. We'll see Waldachuk against them, it looks like. So I'm really intrigued by that matchup. For a good offense, trying not to go 0-2 against Wareham, against your top 2 pitchers in the first week, 8 days of the season. So I'm really intrigued by this next matchup we have at Spillane on Tuesday.
A lot of great baseball coming your way from the Wareham Gatemen Baseball Network. You can catch it all right here. Our content on the YouTube live stream as well as pre and post game. For our sideline reporter, Mary Orders, for everyone else involved, Trevor Russo, Cam Gonsalves, Dan Longton, our beat writer, Ian Vicera. To my right, JD Raucci. To my left, Cam Stewart. Have a great rest of your night, everybody.